Thank you for joining today for Wassenburg Medical's 2024-2025 open enrollment presentation. My name is Ryan Bonovich, and I'm with Univest Insurance. We're excited to be partnering again this year with Wassenburg to put together the best possible benefits package for you, the employee. Today, we're going to be going through an overview of the benefits offered to you as an employee. Particularly, we're going to be highlighting the main change this year, which is the medical carrier. Wassenburg will be moving medical carriers from Aetna over to United Healthcare. However, the structure of the plans is very similar to what you are used to under Aetna. But we'll go over that change as well as a review on your other benefits, which are staying the same. Before I begin, I just have to read this disclaimer. Thank you for joining us today to review the 2024-2025 Employee Benefits Package for Wassenburg Medical Incorporated. The following information is effective for the plan year October 1st, 2024 through September 30th, 2025. The material presented today is current as of today, Wednesday, September 4th, 2024, and may change based on carrier decisions and other external factors throughout the plan year. The information in the presentation is intended to be a general overview of benefits offered to you as an eligible employee of Wassenburg Medical Incorporated. If there is a discrepancy between the information in this presentation and the plan documents will prevail. Please know that there are additional resources available to each of you after this call to answer any benefits questions you have by phone or by email at your convenience. So quickly, just to go over the agenda, we're going to talk about what open enrollment actually is, what that means. A lot of people hear that term and might not know exactly what that means. We're going to talk about your two new plans being offered through United Healthcare for medical. We'll review the Health Savings Account, HSA, the Aetna Dental and Vision, which are staying the same, as well as the Guardian Long-Term Disability, which is also staying the same. I'll go over some resources that are available to you as a United Healthcare member. At the end, I'll have a slide with my contact information. In case you have any questions after reviewing this presentation, you could feel free to reach out to me via email or phone, whatever's easier. And then I will give you the deadline when all open enrollment decisions need to be in. So what is open enrollment? So open enrollment is the one time of year when you can make changes to your benefits, newly enroll, or drop coverage. The only exception to that rule is if you have what's called a qualifying life event throughout the year. An example of a qualifying life event would be the birth of a child, if you were to get married, or if you were to, say, lose coverage under a spouse's plan. Those things would allow you to enroll, make changes, or drop coverage during the middle of the plan year. However, without a qualifying life event, the only time throughout the year that you can make changes to your benefits would be right now during the open enrollment period. And all of these changes will be effective on October 1st. So Wassenburg's plan year renews October 1st. So any changes or any coverage that you enroll in or drop, that would all be effective for October 1st. So again, keep this in mind. We like to remind people that this is the one time of year that you can make changes to benefits without a life event. And there's just some examples of things you can do. You could maybe add or remove a spouse from coverage. You could add or remove children. If you're not currently enrolled, this will be the time to elect coverage. Or if you are looking to drop coverage, this would be the time to do so. So these are the two new plan options offered through United Healthcare. Previously, Wassenburg's Medical was through Aetna. This year, it'll be through United Healthcare. Prior to this year, typically always two high deductible plans were offered. That's going to be the case as well for this year through United Healthcare. Both of these plans are what are considered high deductible medical plans and can be paired with an HSA or a health savings account. I'll go over the health savings account in more detail in a couple slides, but for now, just want to go over the two medical plans themselves and how they actually work. So both plans work pretty much essentially the same way, and the benefits are relatively the same. The difference would be that the deductibles are different. So on the 6350 plan, which is going to be, you could consider it the low plan option, the deductible is going to be higher. So that's going to be less money paid out of your paycheck weekly, more potentially that you would spend out of pocket if you were to need to use the plan for services. So the base plan has a $6,350 individual deductible. So if you're enrolled as a single with no dependents, you have a $6,350 deductible. If you're enrolling with a spouse or children or both, then you have a $12,700 deductible on the base plan, the $6,350. The only difference with the buy-up plan works exactly the same way, except there's a $4,000 individual deductible, $8,000 for a family. And on both plans, any non-preventive services, and we'll talk about what preventive services are, but anything that's not considered a preventive service is going to be subject to that deductible. So you would be paying the full cost of the service, whatever the negotiated rate is between the provider you go to and United Healthcare, up until that deductible is met. Now, the idea with a high deductible plan is that it's also paired with an HSA, which Wassenburg is going to be making a generous contribution to, and you can ideally build up those HSA funds over time to use that to pay for medical expenses. And if you previously had a health savings account through Wassenburg, nothing's changing there. Those funds aren't going anywhere. Those funds are permanently yours. Once funds are deposited into an HSA, they are yours forever. So you can continue building up that nest egg to pay for any expenses that would come up on either of these medical plans. So basically, any non-preventive services are going to be subject to that deductible. There is an out-of-pocket maximum which matches the deductible. So you really only have to worry about paying up to that deductible. Once that deductible is paid, everything is covered 100% on both of these plans as long as you're staying in network. I also do want to point out that there are no referrals required on the plan as well. You'll notice that the out-of-network deductible that's listed at the bottom here. So if you do go out of network, there is a deductible for that as well. However, we like to encourage people to really stay in network because you can be balance billed if you go out of network. So what that means is if you were to go out of network, United Healthcare is only going to pay whatever their negotiated rate is typically for that service. And then that provider, because they're not contracted with United Healthcare, can then balance bill you above and beyond whatever United Healthcare pays for that service. So it kind of really opens up a can of worms of some potential catastrophic billing if you're to go out of network. So we like to encourage people to stay in the network when you can always verify network providers by registering online with United Healthcare and searching for in-network doctors, which we'll talk about later in the presentation. So to summarize again, both plans work pretty much exactly the same. Only difference is deductible is a little higher on the base plan, whereas it's lower on the $4,000. So just think in general, the more you spend out of your paycheck each week, generally the less you would spend out of pocket if you were to use the plan. So if you're someone who's maybe a higher utilizer of the plan, the $4,000 plan might be a better option. If you're somebody who maybe only uses your plan a few times a year, just goes for your regular doctor visits or your annual preventive exam, then maybe the base plan, the $6,350, is a better choice for you. Both plans are very solid. It's just a matter of picking the one that suits your needs better. So I mentioned preventive services. So on both of the medical plans, preventive services are covered 100%. You don't have to worry about any kind of a deductible. So examples of that would be if you go for your annual physical exam, that's the most common one. You get one physical exam per plan year. Please take advantage of it. We always like to just add the footnote when you go for your physical exam. Make it clear to the doctor that you are there for your annual preventive physical exam. If anything additional is discussed at the visit beyond what's included in a typical physical exam, the doctor may bill you for a typical office visit. However, if it's just coded to the United Healthcare and it's clear that it was just an annual physical exam, then there is no cost for the visit. So what I like to do when I schedule mine is I just make it clear to the doctor, hey, I'm scheduling my free visit for the year. That way there's no confusion about what I'm there for. And another example of preventive service could be your well-woman visits, like an OBGYN or a mammogram. For men, colonoscopies over age 40. So keep those things in mind. Please take advantage of the free preventive services available to you. They are covered 100% by United Healthcare, so you might as well take advantage of them. So for the health savings account, so the health savings account pairs with both medical plans. you're going to automatically be enrolled in the health savings account because Wassenburg is going to be making a nice contribution for you each week. For individuals enrolling as employee only with no dependents, you'll get $8.75 put into the HSA per week. For if you're enrolling with any dependents, whether it be a spouse, children, or both, you're going to get $17.50 per week. Now, over time, that's going to add up, and you're going to have a nice little nest egg in there to potentially use towards medical expenses. So a health savings account, the funds put into an HSA are permanently yours. They never expire. If you were to leave to go to another employer, those funds stay with you. They are completely portable. An HSA works just like any savings account that you would open at any bank. The only difference is that those expenses under that account have to be used for qualified medical expenses, and the funds contributed to the account are on a pre-tax basis, which is a really nice benefit. So we like to encourage people, in addition to that contribution that Wassenburg's giving you, you should also try to contribute something for each paycheck, even if it's $15 or $20. That really adds up over time, and you never lose that money. So keep that in mind. The contribution limits. So for 2025, the contribution limit is going to be $4,300 for an individual and $8,550 for a family. And additionally, if you're age 55 or older, you can contribute an additional $1,000 in what the IRS calls a catch-up contribution. So please, take advantage of the HSA. Keep it in mind. Ideally, like we said, the idea is to build up money over time to help you pay for expenses that are subject to the deductible on the medical plan. So the dental coverage is through Aetna. Same thing as last year. There's no change to the dental coverage. So this is just a refresher. Want to point out that there is no out-of-network benefits on the Aetna dental. So you want to make sure that you're using an in-network provider with Aetna. Same thing as with the medical. You can search for in-network providers on Aetna's website. And if you need help with that, you can certainly reach out to me and I can help you with that as well. So there is a deductible on the dental plan, $50 for an individual, $150 for a family. However, the deductible doesn't apply for preventive services, just like on medical. So if you were to go for your routine cleaning, fluoride, bite wings, x-rays, things like that, that's all covered 100%. You don't have to worry about a deductible. That deductible only kicks in for the basic and major services that you see listed there. So there's going to be 80% coverage for basic services and 50% for major. So for basic, Aetna's paying 80%, you're picking up the remaining 20%, and then for major services, it's going to be a 50-50 split. And the annual benefit maximum on the plan is going to be $1,000. So that is the most that Aetna would pay out in dental benefits for the year. And there is orthodontic coverage for children under age 20. And the benefit for that is just like major services, it's 50% coverage. Aetna Vision, again, staying the same as the dental. You're going to get the $10 copay for a routine eye exam, a $25 copay for lenses, $90 copay for progressive lenses. For frames and contacts, it's an allowance. So you get an $130 allowance plus 20% off the balance over the allowance for frames, and then an $130 allowance plus 15% off the balance over the allowance for contact lenses. Now, there is out-of-network benefits on the vision, but as I mentioned with the medical, we like to encourage you to stay in network. They can balance bill you if you are out-of-network under the vision, just like they can for the medical, like we discussed earlier. So always like to stay in network when possible. Long-term disability also staying the same. This is offered through Guardian, no change here. Benefits is going to be 60% of your monthly earnings if you were to be out of work and disabled. The long-term disability benefits begin 90 days from the date of disability, so you would have to be disabled for a period of 90 days, at which point you would be eligible to file a long-term disability claim. If you're ever to find yourself in that situation, hopefully you don't, but if you do, this benefit is there, and I can certainly help you on my end with getting the claim submitted, so don't hesitate to reach out to me if you find yourself in that situation. So again, the benefit pays out 60% of your monthly earnings. up to a maximum monthly benefit of $8,500. And the duration of benefits would last until your disability ends or until Social Security normal retirement age. So there is a pre-existing condition limitation if you were to newly enroll on the plan. If a disability occurs within the first 12 months of enrollment, Guardian's underwriting has the right to open an investigation on if the condition was pre-existing, going back to 3 months before the effective date. So if you had a condition that was in place up to 3 months before you were to enroll on the coverage, then they could potentially deny the claims. And they would only do this during the first 12 months in which you're enrolled. So that's what that 3/12 means for you see the pre-existing condition limitation. So I'm going to go over some resources that are available to you as a United Healthcare member if you were to enroll on either of the two medical plans. A lot of the similar resources to what you had with Aetna, but I just want to make sure that you guys have the information that you need to access this because this is all important stuff. So the big one is you want to make sure that you register for myuhc.com. So this is going to be your online member portal where you're going to be able to view your claims, download your ID card, and search for in-network providers, as well as view all of your different resources available to you as a UHC member. So you're going to be able to go to myuhc.com and register. You'll click the login link and then register, and it should let you register using either your ID number from your card, or you can register using your Social Security number. If for some reason you run into issues registering, let me know. I can interface with UHC and see if we can get you assistance, but you should be able to register on my UHC doing that. So Healthiest You. So once you're registered online, you'll be able to go through and view a lot of the wellness resources available to you as UHC member. So Healthiest You is sort of UHC's version of telehealth. If you're maybe traveling and you're not near your doctor, or it's the weekend and you can't get a hold of your doctor's office, Healthiest You is a great resource to access a virtual doctor's visit. You can talk to doctors anywhere, anytime without leaving home. It's also got a nice tool in there for price comparisons that could save you on prescriptions. I'll also talk about some resources to save on prescriptions, but this is just a great resource if you need to access doctor. You need to speak to a doctor right away when maybe your primary care doctor is not available, and it's great. I mean, you can just sign up, hop on a quick telemedicine call. They can prescribe you something if you're having any kind of an issue. So it's just a great resource if you're not able to access your doctor right away. So Healthiest You also has expert medical services, which would enable covered members with complex medical conditions to receive an independent expert evaluation of their diagnosis and treatment plan. So this is just an example of some conditions that people have had in the past when they've gotten an expert assigned to them. Some great results there in terms of the change in diagnosis and change in treatment and savings for the treatment of that condition. So there's a lot of great resources there with Healthiest You, so please take advantage of that. Real Appeal is United Healthcare's behavioral health coaching resource. The most popular service it's used for is for weight management. It includes online health coaching, a success kit, which has includes scales, recipes, fitness equipment delivered to your door, as well as motivational resources to help lose weight. United Healthcare also has a rewards program. You can be rewarded for different actions using by completing a health survey, getting an annual checkup, and tracking fitness and sleep. You can earn up to $300 in rewards. And again, all this information on how to sign up is going to be in that My UHC portal once you register. So you definitely want to make sure to get registered for the online portal. Also like to point out for medications, especially since you're going to be on a high deductible medical plan and medications are going to be subject to that deductible, you really have to shop around for the best price on medications. There's a couple ways to do that. The first way is if you're on a medication, especially a brand name medication, check the website for that medication. Most of them then will have a savings card available, and it could really save you a lot of money. I mean, it could be even hundreds of dollars I've seen in some cases. So please just double check the manufacturer website, see if they have a savings card available. If they do, take it with you when you fill that medication. It's leaving money on the table otherwise. Another great resource to use is goodrx.com. GoodRx is a free service available to you. It's really available to anybody. All you have to do is go to the goodrx.com, type in the name of the medication you're taking, and then put in the location where you want to search. And it's going to give you a listing of the cost of that medication at different pharmacies in your area. And it can really vary from pharmacy to pharmacy. Now, in this example, you'll see there's a $4 listed and there's a $6 listed. I've seen that vary by hundreds of dollars before. I mean, it can really vary. So use GoodRx to shop around, make sure you're getting the best price on your medication. I know a lot of people might be loyal to a specific pharmacy, but if it can save you a significant amount of money, it's definitely worth looking into. So these are going to be the weekly payroll deductions, depending on what benefits you choose. I'll leave these up for about 30 seconds here just so you can see, but this would be the cost per pay. So this would be weekly coming out of your paycheck for each benefit. And then at the top right here, you'll see the HSA employer contribution. So that is what Wassenburg is going to be putting in to your HSA each week, whether you're an employee or you're enrolled with dependents. So again, I'll just leave this up for a little bit, and then I will move on to the next slide, which has my contact information. Okay. So as I mentioned before, I wanted to include my contact information in case you have any questions on the benefits we went over. I know this was a quick overview. So if you have a more specific personal question or detailed benefit question, please don't hesitate to reach out to me, whether it be email or phone. I can also help you do throughout the year, not just during open enrollment, with claim issues you have. If you get a bill in the mail and you're not sure if it's being billed correctly or if you should pay it, feel free to send it over to me. I'm happy to look into it for you. If you have general questions on the benefits throughout the year, you need help locating a network doctor, basically any questions or assistance you need on any of the benefits we went over today, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm available to help you throughout the year. And then lastly, all enrollments need to be submitted into Employee Navigator by the end of day on Thursday, September 19th. So that is going to be the absolute last day that you can submit your elections in Employee Navigator for this open enrollment. Again, if you have questions in the interim, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'm happy to help you. With that said, I want to thank you for taking the time to review Wassenburg's 2024-2025 open enrollment presentation. My name is Ryan Bonovich, and I'm with Univest Insurance. And I want to thank you for taking the time. Have a great day. Bye-bye.